Hi friends, my name is Chaitanya Patka and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to analyze the third T20 which took place between Pakistan and England at the National Stadium, Karachi. England comprehensively won this game by 63 runs, and the aforementioned and the most controversial topic, that is the Pakistani middle order batsmen and their approach towards batting, has come into spotlight unfortunately again for Pakistan team. Pakistan won the toss and chose to bowl first. England put up a mammoth 221 for 3, scored at more than 11 runs per over in a T20 game. So hats off to them. Phil Salt actually didn't trouble the scorers much. He scored 8 of 6 deliveries, which includes a solitary boundary, and he was caught out by Mohammad Hasnain. Will Jakes scored 40 of 22 deliveries. He came in place of Alex Hales. Will Jakes had a fantastic debut, excellent batting he is equally adept at the offside as well as the leg side. His punches were magnificent, and anything short he cut loose. He has a great game towards mid wicket and cow corner region as well. So a great innings by him. He was uh, caught out by Mohammad Nawaz of the bowling of Usman Qadir, but he made a very good impression of himself, scoring 8 boundaries in the process. David Malan, unfortunately, his luck is not favoring him for the past few days. Once again, he looked good for his 14, despite the fact that he took 15 deliveries, which includes a couple of boundaries. But once again, Usman Qadir got him with an absolute ripper, and didn't have a chance. He wanted to clear the boundary, David Malan, but was caught out by Hassan Ali in the deep. Ben Duckett scored 70 of 42 deliveries, which includes 8 boundaries and a solitary 6. As I said in my previous game, he employed the sweep shot and the reverse sweep to wonderful effect, and he just never let the Pakistani bowlers settle. He was equally good a fast bowler as well, and he has a very good tactical mind. He converted ones into twos when necessary and ensured that even if he didn't get the boundary, the scoreboard kept ticking. But that wasn't the case for too long. He absolutely smashed Pakistani bowlers to all parts of the ground, and a lot of pondering to do for the fast bowlers, including Hasnain and Shahnawaz Dani. But excellent innings from Ben Duckett, and it is a selection headache for England now. That Harry Brook also played the best innings of his career, 81 of 35 deliveries, 8 boundaries, and 5 massive sixes. Played well all round the wicket, especially towards the cover region and mid off region. Magnificent talent. He employed the reverse sweep of fast bowler as well to good effect. He has a very good understanding of the game, as you know that he has played in Pakistan Super League for the last 2 seasons, so he knows the ground dimensions as well as the strengths and weaknesses of the Pakistani bowler, which he exploited to great effect, and that has ultimately benefited England. It impressed Nasir Hussain so much that he has said that he should be part of the playing 11 in the T20 World Cup, which is going to take place next month in Australia. So an excellent account Harry Brook gave for himself. And what was a striking aspect of this innings, that he looked very effortless, and he has a natural talent, and he has a good head on his shoulders. So England will benefit in a long term with Harry Brooks, and it will be an interesting headache for selectors once Liam Livingstone and Josh Butler comes back to the playing 11, as well as Ben Stokes, who to leave out, because by going on the merit of current form, Ben Duckett and Harry Brook have performed excellently well, and Pakistani bowlers simply had no clue at all. They tried everything, the slower delivery, the short ball, the fuller length, but nothing worked in this game. That was the brilliance of Harry Brook as well as Ben Duckett. We should not forget Ben Duckett's inning, because it can be overshadowed by the magnificent performance that Harry Brook put forward of 81. But yes, both set the foundation upon which England crossed 220. For Pakistan, Mohammad Hasnain in 4 overs he gave away 36 runs by taking the wicket of Phil Salt. Actually, there is a marked improvement in his statistics, as we know that when it is not his day, he actually goes for 12 and 13 runs per over. Although there is a lot of scope of improvement, Hasnain will do good in the upcoming matches. Mohammad Nawaz in 4 overs he gave away 34 runs. He didn't take a single wicket. Babar Azam will be disappointed with his performance, but in the sort of form that Ben Duckett and Harry Brook were, I think such figures are respectable. Shahnawaz Dhani went for plenty. In 4 overs, he gave away 62 runs, which is not acceptable at all for a fast bowler. And yes, England batsman took a liking to him, and he didn't have the necessary change of pace or the variations to counter the assault that English batsmen were doing to his bowling. So it will be a steep learning curve for Shahnawaz Dhani, as we know that he's talented, exciting, raw. But important word in my previous sentence is that raw, and he has to learn the tricks of the trade. There is no point in celebrating and pointing to the badge every time you took 2 wickets and not turn up the next game at all. So he has to maintain that fine line between passion and aggression. And yes, as I said, a steep learning curve, but he has to learn from it. Haris Rauf also disappointed in this game, didn't bowl well in the middle overs, though his speed was always up, but the speed at which he bowls was an advantage for Harry Brook and Ben Duckett. And as I said many times in my videos, that the speed is a double-edged sword. If it goes your way, it goes your way. If it doesn't, it is detrimental to your figures as well as your team scores. And Usman Qadir, he took couple of wickets this game. That will do his confidence a world of good. But on the flip side, he also gave away 48 runs, which is not acceptable at all. 12 runs per over. He is way better than that. I think he just needs to figure out his length and have a conversation with bowling coach Saqlain Mushtaq, that his length is not very what you say conducive to the T20 format. Either he is too full or either he is too short, or sometimes he has the appropriate deliveries but he over pitches, or those deliveries are converted into full tosses and batsmen take a heavy toll. This was also evident in this innings, and Ben Duckett especially lined him up towards the mid wicket and cow corner region in this game. So he has to do a lot of thinking. Although 2 wickets is good, but at what cost for Pakistan? So Pakistan needed 222 to win, and as we know, their batting lineups resistance depends upon the top order, that is Rizwan and Babar Azam, but both of them didn't click in this game. Rizwan scored 8 of 14 deliveries. He was caught out by Reece Topley, the comeback man. Babar Azam also was out for similar score, 8 of 6 deliveries. He was bowled by he was dismissed by Mark Wood, and Reece Topley took a fantastic catch to dismiss the Pakistani captain. So all spotlight now was on Haider Ali, who was making a comeback in this series. He just scored 3 of 5 deliveries. He was dismissed by Mark Wood, and Adil Rashid took a superb catch to dismiss him as well. So not a lot of confidence by the Pakistani middle order as well as Haider Ali, as we know that he has set the PSL stage alight for his franchise, but he has to keep in mind the difference between PSL and international cricket, and this innings is a rude wake up call to him as well as the whole of Pakistani team management, that when Rizwan and Babar Azam don't fire, the whole middle order falls like a slash of cards, and that is not a good sign to have with the World Cup less than a month away. Iftikhar Ahmed scored 6 of 7 deliveries, once again not doing his own case very what I can say, he's not performing up to his potential, and he is giving cannon fodder to all the critics who ultimately don't want him in the playing 11. I'm not saying this in a negative sense, but if you don't perform despite having constant chances, then you are in big trouble as well as your team suffers. So it's high time that Pakistani management look forward to other options, or it's high time that Iftikhar sticks to his gun and makes a big score in the 4th T20. He was dismissed by Sam Curran. Khushdil Shah, 29 of 21 deliveries, 2 sixes, a solitary boundary. I think it was a good innings for him, but the asking rate kept climbing too high, and so he didn't have another option to play himself in. Although I think he gave a good account of himself, but he knows that his dismissal, he was very disappointed, and he was I think it could have been avoided. The star performer in this innings for Pakistan was Shan Masood, who scored a magnificent 65 of 40 deliveries, which includes 4 massive sixes and 3 boundaries. and he has shut the mouth up of all the critics, I would say, that were questioning his place on the basis of the National T20 Cup, which happened few weeks ago. They say that Shan Masood is actually not a test player, he's not a white ball format player. So I think the critics are eating their humble pie, and he was the only bright light for Pakistan shining in this innings. Played well all round the wicket, and he has the game sense, as we know that he's a very tactical thinking brain he has towards cricket. He plays county cricket as well, so he is adept to not most of the English bowlers, as you know that English bowlers don't often play county cricket nowadays, but he knows them, and a few of them, and he actually gave a very good account of himself. As I said, 65 of 40, a massive boost to his confidence. He went not out as well, and he was trying to hit every ball, and it was not like that Pakistan, although the game was lost in the very first over, as I had said, in the first 3 overs after the dismissal of Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan respectively, but he tried to hold a fort, and yes, a fine innings by him. Usman Qadir was out for a duck. Mohammad Nawaz scored 19 of 21 deliveries. Sluggish innings, I would say, which did more harm than good for Pakistan's cause. Haris Rauf got out after hitting a solitary boundary. Once again, Mark Wood accounted for his dismissal. So a very lethargic performance for Pakistan. Exception was Shan Masood, 158 for 8. England comprehensively winning this 30-20 by 63 runs. Liam Dawson bowled a solitary over, just gave away 7 runs. Immaculate line and length as always. Reece Topley gave a very good account of himself. In 4 overs he gave away 22 runs and pick up the wicket of Mohammad Rizwan. Mark Wood in 4 overs, 24 runs, 3 wickets. It was very good to see Mark Wood coming back into the English squad, and when he is fully fit, he puts on performances like this, then England will be a very good contender for the T20 World Cup. His pace was up, his length was pretty immaculate, and he didn't give much with outside the off stump for bowlers to take full toll. So all in all, an excellent display by Mark Wood. Sam Curran was a bit expensive, 9.25 per economy rate. In 4 overs gave away 37 runs, took the wicket of Iftikhar Ahmed. Adil Rashid also bowled wonderfully well. 4 overs gave away 32 runs and 2 wickets. As we know that the dimensions of the National Stadium in Karachi are very small towards the leg side. So it gives an added incentive for batsmen to line the spinners up and hoik them towards that region. But he mixed his length very well, bowled his googlies, his leg breaks, and kept the ball fuller, which was a striking aspect of his bowling in this innings. So he got the rewards. Moeen Ali, the skipper, didn't have a good game in the last game as well with the ball, and in this game also in 3 overs he gave away 30 runs by not picking up a wicket. So he needs to think about his bowling form, but his batting form is very nice, but he is in this team as an all-rounder, so he has to make sure that the other aspect of his game is not suffering due to batting. And Mohammad Hasnain scored 6 of 4 deliveries, but it was all too late, and nothing can be done. So a comprehensive victory for England, and all to play for in the 4th T20. It will be interesting to see if Pakistan makes a comeback or England tighten their grip on the series. So how did you like my analysis of the 3rd T20? Please tell in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel and press the bell icon for further notifications. We'll meet in the next video. Till then everyone, bye, and requesting humbly once again, please subscribe.